had quite a bit of Marvel properties come at us. Shoots, WandaVision came out this year, didn't it?
Yep. Way back in
WandaVision,
January.
WandaVision, Loki, the Falcon and Winter Soldier. What if? Also, movie wise, Black Widow, Shang Chi. We also had recently the Eternals. So with all that, all the last year not getting anything from Marvel, we had just been like slapped in the face with Marvel, properties. And I think I talk for everybody here in the podcast, Mr. Marvel, Albert, right here. What's going on?
What up?
We have Overdue Bobcat50 over here, Mr. Chase. I think I speak for everybody when I say Spider-Man No Way Home has to be probably the most anticipated Marvel property actually for a while, since like
Hmm.
probably Endgame or Infinity War, or obviously this year for sure. So guys, if you guys haven't heard, go right away because we got trailer number 2 dropped, or the official trailer 2, whatever you want to call it. So we got the trailer, and guys, it was a fantastic trailer. What can I say? But I want to
Yep.
hear your guys' thoughts first about what did you think about this trailer and everything that they showcased, uh, not giving away too much or maybe giving away a little bit more than you thought. Let me know. I want to hear your guys' thoughts.
I'm just gonna say, right off the bat, I am happy that they didn't show the rumored of the two other Spider-Man that are in this movie.
Hell yeah.
The worst kept secret in Hollywood, right? No confirmation that they're in it, but everyone's pretty sure that they are. And I was scared that they were gonna end this trailer by showing them. And the way it was going, I thought for a second they were about to show them, but they didn't. So I'm happy. I want to save that for the theater. And like I was telling you earlier, I think there is gonna be one more like little trailer when the tickets go on sale on
Hmm.
Spider Monday 2 weeks from now. So I hope that if they do have like an other trailer then that they don't show the Spider-Man if they are in the movie. So I don't think they showed too much. They showed three more villains. They kind of showcased them, right?
Hmm.
So now we pretty much have seen all the villains that at least were rumored about and that we thought were gonna be in it. If for whatever reason they do have Vulture or Venom in this movie, then I'm glad that the trailers aren't showing that. But yeah, I don't think they showed too much. I'm happy. I was happy with the first trailer. I think we all were, right? We didn't need a second trailer, but they were gonna give
Yeah.
us one. Um, and I'm happy that they showed what they showed in this second trailer. It was hyped when Green Goblin came out. I was jumping up and down with my brother when Sandman's face came out because we saw sand in the other trailer, but it could have
Yeah.
just been sand, you know. Now we saw the face in the sand, and that was hype. And then they didn't really showcase Lizard, but he's like there too. You see him jumping around. So yeah, I'm hyped. I'm excited. I wasn't excited for the movie. Like I wasn't hyped for it. I know everyone was more hyped for this than Eternals, but I was more hyped for Eternals. And now with this trailer, like I'm on the hype train now. I don't know why I wasn't before. I just needed this trailer, I guess, to like bring me back to it. But yeah, this feels like the culmination of every live action Spider-Man movie we've gotten. So I can't wait. I'm excited.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I've been hyped on this since the moment I started hearing that the rumors of all the people that are going to be involved in this movie and all the characters from the past. And yeah, you're right. I mean, the first trailer was enough to be like, okay, this is all I need. But knowing how movies are, they're going to release another one, and you're right. Like that was something that while watching it and getting to the end of it, I'm like, please don't show them, and it didn't, and I was really happy with that. And of course, I don't think they will. I think if they're going to show them, this is it. So
Mm-hmm.
they're not. If this is going to show them, it was going to be this trailer. They're not going to do a TV spot. I don't think they'll do another big trailer like this one. So. But overall, like the trailer is exactly kind of like how I said it was gonna be. If it's not gonna be about the two Spider-Man, the others, other Spider-Mans, it's gonna be about the villains. And it really did highlight the villains in this. It highlighted all the classic villains that we know and love. And what's crazy is I felt like this trailer gave us a lot, but also even more to speculate about. Like there were still little moments where I'm like, that's weird, that's different. I didn't see that coming. Like, what is going on here? What's the situation? And so now there's even more to speculate about. So it gave us a lot, but it also gave me more to like dive into and to look at. There's so many little questions. It feels like this movie has so much going for it. Everything we've heard about it, everything we've seen from these trailers, feels like we've seen so much, but there still seems to be some stuff hiding that they're keeping from us and that they're hiding from us. This is such an ambitious movie. I think that, yeah, is on the level of hype and excitement that Endgame and Infinity War brought to the audiences back in the day. So yeah, that I love the trailer. It turned out really awesome. I loved seeing all my iconic villains and how they looked. So I was really into the trailer.
Well, I mean, that's what my thumbnail's all about. I think one of the big surprises
Oh yeah, that was
is
crazy. That was crazy.
Harry Osborn, baby. I think me and Chase talked about this a
my
little bit.
God.
But here's the thing: it can go both ways. It
Uh-huh.
could be either James Franco's Green Goblin or it could be Dane DeHaan's Green Goblin. Because if you look at their styles in both the films, they're kind of similar. They both have like a similar look. They could still
Mhm.
change up the look because Doc Ock doesn't look exactly like he looked in Amazing Spider-Man 2. I gotta say though, the CGI on Doc Ock de-aging him looks great. Looks fantastic, especially when he gets Peter and he's like, "You're not Peter," and like it looks fantastic, man. But
Yeah.
I think so. We saw the Sinister Five. We've seen Sandman. We saw the Lizard, which the Sandman's going to be played by the actor who played him in Spider-Man 3 in Raimi's. Lizard's
Hmm.
coming back, same actor in Andrew Garfield's. You have Electro, and I don't think a lot of talk is given enough for Electro. Jamie Fox looks so much better as this
Way better.
version of Electro
He
than
looks
he did
amazing.
He
I
even had
freaked
like
Amazing
out when I
little,
saw
Spider-Man 2.
him with that mask. With
yeah, I
Yes.
was gonna say
the
he does
mask made out of
that.
electricity to make it look like his mask in the comics, because
Yeah.
Yeah.
no one wanted to see him come out with like a fabric mask that
No,
looks like
no.
electricity. But this, it reminded me of like with Wanda, she has the little headpiece made out of energy kind of that look
Hmm.
badass. And then it's solidified. But right here it's just pure like lightning or electricity with electro, and it looks badass. Yeah, he looks amazing. I love the change that they did with him. I dude, I just that part, it felt good to watch that.
Yeah,
Um,
and you know what? Even if it's like not through the whole movie, if he's using that like
mhm,
like that spot, it's great that they did the homage to
yep,
it. He looks great, and I think he's actually going to probably be one of the. I think Doc Ock is going to either him or Doc Ock is going to appear first or second. I think those are going to be the first two villains. Uh, and then I think it's going to go probably or Lizard and Sandman, and then we'll probably have Green Goblin maybe towards like later on. But the design, I'm ecstatic because I did see the stuntman wearing one of the suits of the Goblin. I'm like, oh my god, is William Dafoe gonna wear that suit? I'm like, I'm not
yep,
really feeling that, but
yep,
no, I think this is why it confirms it. We get Green Goblin from Spider-Man 1, Tobey Maguire, Sam Raimi Spider-Man. He's in the same suit, the Goblin
yep.
suit. So
Yeah.
that's why when I see this other version of Goblin, I believe for 1,000% that he's not going to change outfits towards the end. I think that has to be another Goblin. We got the Sinister Five. I don't necessarily think this other Goblin's going to be Sinister Six. I think that still will be either um, I was gonna say Mephisto. Mysterio. I think that's gonna be either Mysterio. I think Jake Gyllenhaal is gonna be in this film.
I mean, he's gonna be
Uh,
canceled. Taylor Swift don't want him in there.
Yep,
oh
that's
yeah,
Swifties are gonna
yeah,
get him out
got
of there. I'm
roasted,
sorry, you
baby.
can't.
Got roasted. But I really honestly believe I think Spider-Man's this is like a very powerful group of villains. Like the movie versions that we've seen, if they're together, dude, and I think Doc Ock. It seemed like he's gonna be helping out Peter, this Tom Holland's version of Peter. But we don't know that just yet. What if he is part of the Sinister Five or whatever? So I think, and so how does the Sandman come? The Sandman comes in, right? and he was in the third Spider-Man movie. Who else
Mhm.
was in that third Spider-Man movie? Maybe that's how Tobey comes in,
Mhm.
and maybe that's how either James Franco comes in, or flip it, Andrew Garfield. How what Because we know Alfred Molina's Doc Ock, they told him and they said, and he said it in interviews, that when he enters the film, it's exactly at the end of Spider-Man 2, which everybody's kind of confused of because he kind of turned into the good guy, and he still has can be a good guy here, but he comes at the end of Spider-Man 2. So what I'm thinking, it's kind of like Venom, right? Venom shows up at the end of Let There Be Carnage 2. So I think the Spider-Mans, I'm super happy they didn't show them because they don't need to show them. We already know the leaks out there. We already know, like, there's the rumors, the so-called leaks, right? We're
Mhm.
already like talking about if this is real or fake. They just need all that talk. They don't need to showcase it. They just need
Yeah.
you to think that, yeah, you're gonna get them in here, and then when it finally happens, it's gonna be awesome. But I really do think that one of these goblins is either Dane DeHaan or James Franco. I'm going
Mhm.
to go more Dane DeHaan because I think they canceled James Franco a lot in the business, the media and stuff, because he was
Oh,
in
that's
trial for
right.
like
Didn't he get in trouble? I forgot he got in trouble stuff.
he got in trouble. So I think they might go Dane DeHaan route, and
It
that could
just
make
changes
sense
look.
too.
Yeah.
That could make sense too because Andrew Garfield, they're pulling in the Lizard. They're pulling in
Yeah.
Electro, which is kind of weird
Electro,
because
yeah.
Lizard is in Amazing Spider-Man 1 and Electro's in 2. But you never know. I honestly think there's a second Green Goblin. What do you guys think?
If
Uh,
there is, that would make it three villains coming from each Spider-Man movie before Tom Holland.
Hmm.
So I like the idea. Um, I think it is. When I saw him, it didn't look like William Dafoe. He looked younger, right? And
Yeah,
it
absolutely.
was a
it did
super
look
quick
younger.
shot, though. It was super quick, but
It
as
was
soon as I
super
saw
through.
It
it
looked like the
didn't.
stunt guy.
Like a dark hair, yeah.
Yeah, it didn't look like. It looked more like the new Green Goblin. I can't remember. Like I only saw the trailer twice and I didn't like pause it to examine it. But even like the glider looked different too. I
Yeah.
don't know. Maybe I'm crazy and I want it to be. But
Yeah.
I wasn't even thinking about maybe there'd be two Green Goblins. But
Well,
now there could be, and I would
It
like that.
I think.
it
Especially since it would be Harry, his son, but from a different universe. So that'd be an interesting dynamic too.
Well, I'm gonna put this out there. There was a earlier in the week. There was John Campia, a famous YouTuber. He has the John Campia show. He used to be on Movie Talk, Collider. I actually met the guy at Comic Con once. He seems an okay guy. Um, he he posted two images on his Twitter. So, and he had his watermark on those images. Supposedly, he thought they were photoshopped or Reddit or whatever. So he posted these image. It could possibly be a huge spoiler, but and then he took it down. He took it down, and then he said he had two other images. Now, what he said he wasn't going to show the images, but he was going to say that on one of the images there's somebody in mocap. Mocap being somebody is using a lot of CGI, like with Banner, Hulk, Mark Ruffalo is on mocap. So there's somebody in mocap, and nobody will ever guess who's in that mocap. Now, first of all, at first I was like, that has to be Venom, right? But then he's saying that nobody would ever guess. Well, if it's such, it has to be somebody we know, and it can't be like, I don't think they're gonna throw in a new character like they did in Eternals. I think it has to be either James Franco or Dane DeHaan. If it's that crazy of a just somebody in mocap, of course somebody's gonna be in mocap if they're flying the glider
mm,
and
Hmm.
they're in a suit.
yeah.
So I think it's either, like I said, I think it's going Dane DeHaan route, but I mean it would be, I guess, better if it was James Franco, just because James Franco, Harry, and Toby's Peter are so dynamic and so like they showcase that relationship through 3 films, especially if you're getting Kristen Dunst back in the fold, you know.
Yeah.
And then there's rumors maybe Emma Stone. I don't think we're gonna get those two, but you don't know what's gonna happen at the end of this film, because I really don't think, after watching the trailer, I don't think you could do it all in one movie. You have to continue the Spider-Verse, either in Doctor Strange 2, but I think that Doctor Strange 2 is its own thing, and you got to at least do one more flick or 2 more movies to cap off the multiverse of Spider-Man.
Yeah, I agree. They got to do. There's so much in this movie, and there's so much speculated, and it feels like they're really just putting all their eggs in this basket of this huge movie and putting everything together that we've seen over all these different live action Spider-Mans, and culminating it all together into this movie. And it's crazy to think they can do it all in 2 hours and 30 minutes. And they they've said Tom Holland has said, like, this is one of the kind of like saddest, or what was his like kind of darkest Spider-Man movie done yet. Yeah. And to me, that just makes me think of an ending that's gonna not be a happy ending. It's gonna lead to maybe some shit going down that needs to be fixed in later iterations.
Well, Chase, remember what I said on Spider-Man Far From Home? I liked the movie, but there was something missing, and that missing was the weight of Spider-Man. Spider-Man is, yes, a fun, interactive, talking smack to you, Randy Savage, but like he has death around him. He is a very broken character. There was one time where he gave it up. That's what Spider-Man 2 Raimi's version was like showcasing. So you make a good you're saying there might be a death. There was a part of right in the beginning before the beginning of the trailer, you see Holland with maskless and it's raining. I think that's the end. That's one of the end of shots of the film.
Yeah, I don't think it's Zendaya.
No, I think it'll either be Happy or
May.
Aunt May.
Yeah.
Oh man.
I think it'll be Ned too.
If it's Ned.
It might be Ned. Ned is actually the one that tried to get MJ from falling. And
I noticed that the second time of the trailer.
He falls too, and they don't notice, so they say Zendaya, and then it cuts to Ned just hitting the ground.
Well, you saw him grab onto the pole, so I think he's good. At first, I thought that, because I was like, who the hell has big ass arms like that?
Yeah,
I thought it was Sandman, and then it was just his jacket. He has his like yellow ass jacket. So one of my buddies, he put down, and I thought it would be awesome if they did this film. Their Spider-Man always people, even if always helps people when they're bad. Ooh, I'm gonna get to that. Then let's get to that. Neo the One and the Matrix is gonna be coming out. Can't wait for that one. So guys, when watching this trailer for the billionth time, I noticed, like, yes, Neo is actually right. Spider-Man Peter, Tom Holland's Peter. I think what the major vocal point and plot point of this film. So we have the conflict between him and Doctor Strange. I think why there's such a conflict and why he's so adamant, because in the trailer, I think Doc Ock says you're chasing ghosts. Stephen Strange voiceover comes out, says they all die in their universes. I think Peter feels so guilty on Mysterio's death. That is why he's pushing so hard to help these villains or make sure they don't go back or they don't die. Because I think he tries to go for that box. We don't know what that Pandora's box is about. Yeah. But I think he doesn't want to send them back, knowing that they're going to die, because he feels that much guilt of Mysterio's death, and this is what led to all this mess. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I was thinking Doctor Strange is doing something to either lead to their deaths or like him going at like wanting them to die. Like either taking them back to the universes where they do die or somehow them killing them. I don't know. And Peter having that conflict of being like, I'm not a murderer. I just don't want to kill. Not after what happened with Mysterio. That was what I'm getting from what their tussle or what their fighting is about. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yep. I think that the box is where the villains are being kept, and at least I remember reading something like that way back when, before even the first trailer, that there's going to be a box, and that's where the villains are kept. Now, after seeing the first trailer and the second trailer, I don't know if it's where they're being kept, like in there, like if they're shrunk in there or something. I feel like it might be the key or something like that. It like they need that box to unlock wherever they're at. But yeah, Peter, he says like, "I'm sorry" to Doctor Strange, and then he's steals the box out of his hands with his web. So he doesn't want them to die. That it must have hit so hard for him when Strange tells him that their fate is to die by you, other versions of you. Yeah. So like he must feel guilty for that, especially after if this movie looks like it takes place right after the last one. So he's still guilty for killing Mysterio. Yeah, he didn't like kill him. Mysterio pretty much killed himself, like all the Spider-Man villains, but still he feels guilty for that he couldn't save him, because with Vulture didn't die, so this was like the first time, unless we just haven't seen it, but I think it's the first time that Tom Holland, Peter Parker, couldn't save someone and they died.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, and then Michael Keaton, man, you saw the Vulture out there.
He's over here with Morbius or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think he is gonna feel guilty, and he's gonna try to help them escape, and then he sees that they are villains actually, and they're doing some villainy shit, and he's like, "Oh man, now I gotta fix this again." So who knows? Well, unless he joins the villains, and he is the sixth member of the Sinister Six.
Well, I'm interested to see the black suit, because we do see the magic, like Doctor Strange magic, and I'm interested to see I'm interested to see what the plan is, because at one point Strange and Peter are going to be working together in the beginning, and then they're going to be working together at the end. So I'm just kind of interested to see what the game plan is, and what, especially the end when he's saying he can't control it. It's out of his hands. Does that mean more multiverse characters are coming in? Dude, what if Wesley Snipes' Blade comes in? That'd be awesome.
That'd be great.
I think that part is where where Andrew and Tom come in through. Not Tom, Andrew and Tobey. I feel like he's trying to because I don't know. I saw like two beams, and I don't know if that means two people are coming, but I was just thinking like, oh, maybe Doctor Strange is trying to stop more villains coming in, and he's like, oh, I can't contain them, they're coming, and then it's actually the backup, it's the two Peters. Unless they come out earlier. I don't know if that's like towards the end or in the middle somewhere. From the trailers, I can't really tell what takes place where. I know the bridge scene is probably near the beginning, and I don't know if the Statue of Liberty is towards the end or the middle, because
I think it's
towards the end.
Towards the end, not the ending. It's
I would think though. Where's Dr. Octopus and Green Goblin in that shot? Like, were they taken care of in the middle of the movie? I would assume that they'd be there too if it's at the end.
Well, there is the Green Goblin shot of him of a Green Goblin, looks like maybe Harry, going through the night. You only have the Green Goblin of Willem Dafoe's Green Goblin during day, which it looked like the bridge scene was where he's coming in at.
Yeah.
You do have the Sandman and Electro at some kind of building seem to be attacking them, which I think is when they come in. And then you have those night scenes where you don't see Doc Ock at all towards there, but you see a what we believe to be Harry's Green Goblin flying through the sky, and then you see Electro, Sandman, and Lizard, and that's where you get the shot of them three.
Well, Chase has a little something input on that particular scene. Chase, why don't you give the audience, and Fry, yes, Electro looks amazing.
Awesome.
We all agree. So tell us about that one shot, because you read an article and you found something that Marvel loves to do this. Marvel loves to pull it. Explain what we're talking about.
We all know that Marvel will take their trailers and they will take and switch out certain things in trailers. And so when I watched it, I think it was the third time I watched it, I was like, holy shit, this scene, there's something else to this scene. And I thought about it, and I was watching it more, and I did go online. I saw some other people. I thought the same thing. There's that scene where Tom Holland is coming in, and it's him versus Electro, Sandman, and Lizard. And Huh? Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Lizard.
and
Yeah.
Lizard, and they're all jumping in, and Lizard's at the bottom, Sandman's in the middle, and Electro's on top. And the way they're jumping, it just seems interesting to me. Bro, Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield are in that scene.
I have
It's three
something to
on
add to
three.
that. I
It's
have
three
something to
on
add to that.
three. The way
Yeah.
they're jumping too, like Lizard is not jumping at Tom Holland. He's jumping and ready to claw someone in his face. There's someone there.
I have something to add to that.
Yeah.
In our version, the English version, it does look like that. Do you know where I'm going with this?
I think so. It gets
In the Brazilian version, it's extended, and the extended version, someone's decking the lizard across the face. So, because they had told me, my friend told me, like, he sent me a gift or whatever, and I went back to the trailer, and I was like, either that's edited or I don't know, because
that's what I thought. I thought it was edited. That's why I didn't say it right here, because I was like, I didn't see it in the trailer, but now you're saying Brazilian trailer.
Then,
okay.
I saw a comment saying, "Oh," and I think it was Brazilian. It said the trailer was in Portuguese, the language, and I think that's what they speak in Brazil. But I was watching it, and that trailer was only a minute long. It was just a condensed version of this. And at the very end, I'll send it to you guys after the stream so you guys can see it. But
I saw it on IGN. IGN posted it.
Send it to me after.
Yeah,
I'll send it to you. But at the end, it's the same shot, but it's extended a little, and you clearly see a ghost hitting the lizard. So yes, I believe something's being edited out of there the same way that they have edited stuff in trailers in the past. So
one of the biggest one was Infinity War, Albert, when the Hulk was running with everybody.
Yeah.
It wasn't Hulk.
We never got that scene.
Yeah, it was Hulkbuster. Yeah, they switched it. Yeah, so they didn't want you to know what was going down. And like I said, I think these trailers are doing a good job.
A big one that I thought of real quick was the Infinity Gauntlet. Infinity War had 2 stones in the movie.
Yeah.
So except
that's true.
Stone.
Yeah.
So that is like exactly like that. Just a quick little, well, not quick, but it's just they can edit these things out since they're all fake. It's all CGI. So just delete that layer in the CGI. I don't know how it works, but I'm assuming
especially that particular scene. If they did have 2 Spider-Mans going at it, I have to say that Sony and Marvel are doing a great job, Pascal and Feige, because the trailer is kind of like Endgame, where Endgame, we're like, shit, like they only showed like the beginning of the movie really, and maybe some parts towards the end, but we still went in there not knowing, like we're kind of surprised by it, biggest moments weren't spoiled for us. Thank God the Captain America moment was not spoiled. But I there might be a couple, like we're saying with James and Dane Dehaun, but there might be a couple more surprises in this film. So let's get into this. All right. There's 2 more topics I want to talk about real quick, but I want to talk about this first. So after watching the trailer and thinking that they need more, there has to be more after this. There just cannot be one film. I just don't think it just does it justice. We're talking about, maybe Tobey Maguire gets his solo film, final Spider-Man 4, maybe Andrew Garfield gets a couple more, but let's talk post-credit. I think the first post-credit scene is going to be Tom Hardy's Venom. And I think the second post-credit scene is going to be connected to Doctor Strange 2. I think for sure we're getting Mr. Hardy's Venom. And the way I'm picturing it is just him showing up after the aftermath, and or maybe even meeting Tom Holland's Peter. I think the symbiote. I think we're getting definitely a Venom versus Spider-Man theme going on here.
Like a movie in the future,
especially with the movie. Yeah, Sony's gonna want that. I don't know how they're gonna. I don't know what the plan. I mean, obviously, I don't know what the plans are, but I know for sure that I think that first credit scene is going to be Venom, and they're going to really get the one that just really pops at the end of this film.
Yeah, sorry, Albert.
I think we will get a Venom credit. I don't think we'll get Venom in the movie, but I feel like before the movie ends, like they will reference it. Maybe like Toby will tell Peter like, "Oh, we're lucky that it was these villains and not Venom, and then Peter will like ask him who's Venom, so they might bring it up, but I don't think we'll see Venom in the movie. But I do think that the after credit scene will be Tom Hardy's Venom.
Or Morbius too.
I don't know about Morbius, maybe, but I feel like if
Nobody
they
cares about that character.
no one cares, yeah, we need to see the movie.
I don't really want to
Just
watch it.
yeah, I don't care for it right now, but I'm gonna watch it, and I hope that
Oh
after
yeah, I'm watching too.
Yeah,
but
we'll watch it.
I hope they make me care for him. But Venom, yeah, the after credit scene in the Venom movie was Tom Holland and Spider-Man, and
Mm-hmm.
but the more important part was that it was him getting transported into this universe, so he was part of the spell gone wrong, right?
Yes.
So I feel like they have to show him in the after credit scene. Or not that they have to, they don't have to do anything, but I really want them to show them just because
They
I
better.
don't want to wait.
No.
Yeah, I hope they do. So I do think that will be one of the credit scenes. Like, I don't really know what order they'll go with. And then the other thing is, I agree with you on both of them actually, because Doctor Strange is the next movie to come out after this. And I know that they delayed some of the Marvel movies. I forgot if Doctor Strange was delayed or not. But I think it comes out in February originally.
No, it's delayed, and there is a lot of reshoots happening on this film.
And there's a lot of rumors too, so I don't know.
Mr. Hugh Jackman might be in it.
Do you think it got? Do you remember when it got delayed to? Is it May? It's still the first Marvel movie though of next year, right?
Yeah, it's next year. I think it's May.
I think it like has to connect Doctor Strange and Spider-Man to the Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness. They have to kind of connect, right? So I do think that the after credit scene will be something related to Wanda specifically. But
I think it should.
It will be, but I think for sure it'll be something related to the Doctor Strange movie. I just think it would be the Doctor Strange movie, specifically with Wanda and why she's going to be in the movie. What is about you, Chase? What do you think the credits will be?
Well, I just had an idea while listening to this about an end credit scene that I think could happen. So first of all, the Venom end credit scene I think has to happen. I think since you did it in the end of the Venom movie that you showed that they're now connected, I think they're going to want that in no matter what, because they want to show you that and be like, hey, the next Spider-Man movie, this dude's coming. You might have just saw all these awesome people. This next movie, you're getting this guy. So I think that'll be a must. But another end credit scene I think I can see them doing. What if they decide to hint and reveal, kind of hint towards the other Spider-Man universes? What if they show off either the other Spider-Man universe going back to the universes, or maybe showing off a character like Mary Jane,
especially Tobey's,
yeah, or like maybe Andrew Garfield sees that there's Gwen Stacy in another universe, or there's like they hint at if they want it. I've heard the rumors or the ideas of what if we talked about it, another Spider-Man 4 for the Sam Raimi trilogy, or another Andrew Garfield. Well, if they're actually going to do that and they're thinking about that right now, an end credit scene for this movie could be perfect way to do that. So I think an end credit scene involving one of the Spider-Mans going back to the universes or something like that would be interesting.
And you got to remember, a lot of the villains that are coming into this multiverse died in the respective films, and they're coming back alive. That's why it's a big hammer home, like Ghost. They're going to go back and die. So you're absolutely right. Who's dead is Gwen. Stacy's dead. So that's a big thing for Andrew Garfield. I did want to say, though, it would be so awesome. I think it'd be a beautiful scene if there is a shot in a trailer where Tom Holland's Peter is jumping towards MJ to save her. But I would love that moment to be Andrew Garfield, because he couldn't do that with Stacy, and to save Peter's, girlfriend, love interest, to atone for what he couldn't do with Stacy. Dude, that's poetic justice right there. I would absolutely love that scene to happen, but it does look like it's Peter. But then again, we don't know. CGI out, blah blah blah. All this, or they maybe filmed a scene and just switched it out for the trailer. Neo says, "Do you think this is the last Spider-Man film in the MCU? I forgot. Ned, isn't he supposed to be Hobgoblin?" I told Chase this. I love Hobgoblin. I want Hobgoblin in one of these Spider-Man films. I absolutely don't believe that this is the last of Tom Holland's version of Spider-Man. I heard they're inking a deal to do 3 more. Their plan is to do college and then his grown up, 3 more for his grown up, and that's it. And Tom loves the role. I know Robert Downey Jr. one time told him, he's not going to be Spider-Man forever, but I think Tom wants to at least give the fans that, give them a full Spider-Man, Peter Parker that we love, a full story, like a really kind of like a graphic novel, man, just a big graphic novel, and just end it perfectly. I think Ned possibly could be Hobgoblin. I just don't like for him to be Hobgoblin. It would be a same story like Harry and Peter, honestly. I would like Hobgoblin to maybe get introduced in. It would be perfect for the college years, man. It'd be a good villain for the college years. But what do you guys think?
I hope they make 6 more movies after this. I do hope we get the trilogy for college years and then the trilogy for when he's an adult. Just because out of the 3 different iterations of Spider-Man we got in now, they've all been in the same period of his life, high school. The only exception, kind of, even though it wasn't live action, was Spider-Verse. But that movie wasn't about Peter. It was mostly about Miles. But in that
Best
one,
Spider-Man movie of all time, my opinion.
Yeah, but in that one, Peter, he had already been Spider-Man for a while. He was like a grown-up. I don't know how old, but he was in his late 20s or early 30s, it looked like. So,
yeah. That was Dad Bod Spidey, man. Yeah, he was in the game.
Though. The one that died, I'm talking about.
Oh, the one that died. Oh, yeah.
But that one too, because I think they're supposed to be the same age. Just that this is a Spider-Man that just wasn't as good.
Peter H. I thought he was older for sure.
I don't know. He does look older because the Peter Parker that died, he did look a little younger. I'm not sure, but I think
Dad Bod Spidey is actually the original Spider-Man in the comic, or like he's the what was it, like Earth or whatever. Like he's the Peter Parker. Yeah, he's nice. Peter Parker. Yeah, the original or whatever.
But yeah, so I do hope we get 2 more trilogies. One of him in his college years would be interesting, and then one of him as an adult. I guess the Raimi films, they also had him as an adult or a young adult because he graduated high school in the first one, right?
Yeah.
But no, I want to see. I want to see 2 more trilogies because I feel like there's plenty of Spider-Man stories they could tell. And Tom Holland, he's young enough to do it. He could do a trilogy. It doesn't have to. They don't have to be back to back either. So this is the end of the first trilogy. If they make a second one, it doesn't have to be for another maybe 3 or 4 years from now. I'm sure he'll look like a college student still, and then they could do the adult one 3 or 4 more years after that. And then ultimately, I want to see him die, and then that's when we get Miles Morales Spider-Man.
I don't want to see Tom Holland's version die. Don't want to see him. It's funny because that's going to be the next topic. But Chase, I want to get your thoughts on this.
Well, I do. More movies, I think, is going to be guaranteed. I don't think they're going to walk away from this anytime soon, unless there's a big dispute between Sony and Marvel.
Yes.
Tom Holland certainly ain't going to walk away from it. He loves the role. He's expressed that multiple times. When it comes to the Hobgoblin thing, I think the way it could work out in this movie is it's not going to be, of course, this universe's Ned. Simply put, there's just another universe's Ned comes in as Hobgoblin, just from a universe we don't know. That's more similar to the Tom Holland's universe where another Ned like that exists. If they do that, he probably won't be the most fleshed out character because at the end of the day, we're going to focus on the villains we already know.
Oh yeah, I don't think Hobgoblin's happening in this movie.
I don't think so either. Yeah, but they might just do it as a little here's Hobgoblin. Here's Ned as Hobgoblin. Isn't that kind of cool? Ned's a bad guy, and maybe Ned has to fight him or deal with him. But
it's an emotional weight, though. That's Tom's boy, or that's Peter's boy.
Yeah, and that's a thing about it. If it's the thing, we don't know who the sixth. If there's a Sinister Six and we don't know who the sixth one is, imagine he has to take all these people back to their deaths, including his friend Ned.
Yeah.
So that is something that I could see them bring in Hobgoblin to be the one, one of the first ones he sees or whatever, and being like, oh, I can't I can't let these people go back to death, because even one of them is, even though he's from another universe, it's like my best friend right there.
Mm-hmm.
And I need to bring him back, because this isn't the Ned that I know. My Ned isn't evil like this. So I can see them working it in.
Yeah, I can see
Just
Ned
being,
dying, man. I can see Ned dying for
what
sure
I
because
said.
he is in danger at
Yeah.
that clip. He's
Mhm.
he almost fell as well, and Peter. That's a big hit. That's a big hit for
Mhm.
Peter because Ned is his boy, and we see Ned and I like Ned. Ned's a great. I like Ned. He's a good comedic character. I think him and Holland have a great dynamic. I like all of them. I like MJ, Ned, and Peter together.
Mhm.
Okay, we're gonna go 2 more topics here. I'm gonna save the best one for last, but Fry says no. James Franco Hobgoblin most likely. That didn't look like a Hobgoblin is orange, and it just did not look like Hobgoblin. That's not the Hobgoblin. If it is, then that's a disappointing Hobgoblin to me.
I don't think they would introduce any new villains as part of the main story. They might introduce them, but I don't think it would focus on one like that.
Yeah, I'll say they might introduce a new villain at the end of the credit scene. So another one I would say is maybe Kraven the Hunter. Aaron Taylor Johnson is confirmed to play him, so he might show up at the end. So they could really connect the Sony verse with this verse, because Sony and if Sony and Marvel are smart, they have this contract for at least 10 years or whatever they could do for a long run, so they can have this partnership and there's no like fallbacks and stuff. All right, so one topic I did want to discuss, though, before we start heading out, is Doc Ock, man. So Doc Ock is really shown in this trailer, which is reasonably so because we know Doc Ock is in here. It's great they showed the other villains, but I love Alfred Molina as Doc Ock. I think he looks great. We saw him with Iron Man nanotech. It even looked like Iron Man 2 nanotech, like the nanotech. So here's the question to you guys: is Doc Ock gonna remain a villain? Because you did see him in the cage-like facility and underneath Doctor Strange. It's a pretty funny line. What's your name, Doctor Octavian or whatever? And they're like, no, really, what's your name, man? Like, is he gonna remain a villain, or do you think he's gonna help this version of Peter?
I'm not sure. Like, I could. Because at the end, even right before he dies of that Spider-Man movie, he controls the what's it called? Those limbs that he has, the extra limbs, right?
The solar. You mean his tentacles?
Yeah, the tentacles. He controls them so he could like save the day. How Peter he realizes he messed up, so he gets that solar thing and goes into the river. So by the end of that movie, like he was like kind of good, right? Like he realized what he had done was wrong, even if he was being brainwashed by the AI in the tentacles. So is he being controlled by them again, or is he like just, I don't want to die, I don't want to go back there because I know I'll die. Right here I could live. But I see that like in the bridge scene, he doesn't look like that version of him where he realizes what he did was wrong, because he's like getting vehicles and stuff, and it looks like he's destroying that bridge.
Well, hang on, Albert. Let me say this though here, okay? I think it is because he does know that when he was revealed who Spider-Man was, it was at the end of that scene of the movie. Who Peter really was.
I need to go back and watch them. I'm working on that.
Yeah, so he only finds out who Peter is because Peter, when he's like, I remember I went back and watched the clip. He's like literally defeated, and then Peter takes off his mask and he tells him like, we got Mr. Octavius or whatever. And then Alfred Molina's like, oh, was he like, he says this famous line. He smiles at Peter. They have a relationship in the movie. Well, anyway, so when in the trailer, first of all, he could have killed Peter. He could have killed Tom Holland. He had him on that, on the little pillar. Mm-hmm. That dude, and it was kind of weird because his Peter's mask just like goes off, right? Mm-hmm. And then he goes like, "You're not that Peter." So he knows who the Tobey Maguire Peter Parker is, but that didn't happen until he sacrificed himself. So I think this version is the one that sacrifices himself. Maybe that's why his hair's so like looking like all wet and stuff.
Mm.
He had different hair.
And the reason I think he's attacking at that moment is I think maybe because what made him evil in the first place in the Spider-Man 2 movie is what made him so deranged was his tentacles. That's what caused him to go crazy. Those were like embedded into his spine, into his brain and whatnot, and it caused him to go mad. So that could just be kind of a relapse at that moment when he goes through it, like going through another universe, all of a sudden thinking he's about to die, and all of a sudden he goes to another universe. I can see a little relapse right there. And when he sees the non-Peter, he like maybe breaks it, who knows? And then of course they capture him, and it's I think I was on the same idea. I have a feeling that he's not going to be necessarily one of the bad guys. Although neither Sandman wasn't really a bad guy at the end of Spider-Man 3 either.
And he's fighting these guys too.
But
so
the
it's
reason
very odd.
the reason they're fighting though, and maybe Doc Ock will end up fighting with the bad guys, is because at the end of the day, this is for their lives.
Well, Sandman
he's fighting
didn't die.
because Sandman didn't die, did he?
No.
Oh, he didn't.
Peter
I
let
didn't
him
think about
go
that.
because
That's
he
right.
forgave him. Yeah.
But they're supposed
So,
to die somehow.
Very odd, right? Very
maybe
odd.
they. Yeah.
I hope that's not a continuity issue.
Yeah.
I hope to God that's not a continuity issue because Marvel fans, Marvel fans,
they'll give
Sandman got let go, and
But my point is, they're fighting for survival. Like maybe these guys, these villains, like at the end of the day, like they're villains, but they're also like, if we go back, we're gonna die. Like Electro says, "I won't let you do this to me," or something like that.
Yeah.
Electro says a line in that trailer, and it sounds like of some like, "I won't let you take this from me," or something like that. And that might be their second chance. Like this is for their lives. That's what this is, and that's why they're fighting. They're not fighting for necessarily evil purposes. They're fighting to live.
Yeah, that's the main vocal point in this, and which is funny because Peter is fighting to not kill, pretty much.
Yeah.
He's fighting to he's fighting for his innocence. In a sense. So there's a lot of themes going on in this film. It's a 2.5 hour movie, I believe. Maybe longer.
I think 2 hours
40.
and 40 minutes. 2 hours 40 something minutes is what it's.
Shit, I wouldn't mind if it was 3, honestly.
Yeah.
It has to be. Hopefully the pacing's really good because a movie could be ruined when it comes to like pacing, Eternals, and all that good stuff. But all right, so I guess we have to address though real quick. How the hell does Doc Ock get that nanotech on him?
Yeah, I saw from when they released a poster, it said I saw a comment saying like, "Oh, his tentacles look red. Like, did he steal the iron spider suit from Peter somehow?" And it looks like that's what happens. Like when they're fighting on the bridge, somehow, I don't know how, but like somehow the nano tech from the Iron Spider-Man suit gets taken from Peter right there, and it goes onto the tentacles. I read that comment, and now after watching this trailer, I think that's what happened.
Yeah, he
might.
He infused the mask, and that's why it's revealed that that's not the Peter. I had to say though, I was telling Chase this. I've seen all the pops and merchandise come out, but I don't remember seeing Tom Holland's suit pop or figurines like the one he had at the end of this trailer at the end fight, because that one looks like the PS4 Spider-Man suit with a little bit of the white and the stripes. Did you notice that, Albert?
I haven't even noticed that. I need to go back and pay attention to the suit. The one where they're fighting on the Statue of Liberty, that suit.
Yeah, where he's about to do battle with the three main villains.
Bad guys?
Yeah.
All right. I need to go back and look at that. I didn't realize that.
His suit looks like the gameplay suit with a little more white to it, or silver.
The red, blue, and white?
It looked like it. I paused it a couple times. I'm like, that looks like the PS4, PS5 version of the suit, which is pretty dope. I'm fine with that. I really want him to go back to his classic Spider-Man suit. But if that's the closest we're gonna get, I just feel like I don't want Far From Home suit. I think that'll be in the beginning. I do want different suits for Spidey, but I would love to see Tom Holland eventually go into like a Tobey Maguire suit. Which we're gonna get. Okay, so the final topic. We're gonna get to this, man. This is a big one. All right, because this can very well happen. Because there's two different it's the like we said, we all know the Andrew and Tobey are in this film. They have to be in this film. I would be sorely, absolutely disappointed if they're not in this film. But both of these guys, before Tom Holland, Tobey Maguire was the shit back in the day. He was the one that started this off. Him and Sam Raimi never got a proper ending, in my opinion, to finish off that series. So, after Spider-Man 3, we're going to get Spider-Man 4. They canceled it. Andrew Garfield comes in. I didn't necessarily like the movies, but going back, I think Andrew Garfield's a fantastic Spider-Man. I'm actually looking forward to him the most in this film because of moments like that, hopefully with MJ and stuff, or just him overall. I think he's going to be the underdog out of these guys. So he didn't have a proper ending too. After Amazing Spider-Man 2, there was so much build up for that Sinister Six movie and blah blah blah. They never did it. Him as an actor didn't get that personal closure. I think there's a possibility this film will close out one of the two Spider-Mans. It might close out Tobey's. It might close out Andrew's. And but the meaning of that is that I think that maybe we'll see the end of Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man, which would be really dumb. They shouldn't do. They need to make Spider-Man 4. Or they might kill off Andrew. Is there a possibility, you guys think, that they might? I think the most likely would be Tobey.
Yeah.
Because
I don't
he's
think
done
they kill them
everything.
off.
I don't think they would either, but there's a possibility.
Yeah, I think if they kill someone off, like if they do decide to kill someone in the movie, it'll be Aunt May or Happy, and that's it. I don't think they'll kill one of them two or both of them, and then also Spider-Man. I think they know that the fans would be disappointed if they are, but at the same time,
I would be fine if Tobey bit the dust. I would be okay with it.
It would be sad.
I'd be okay with it, yeah.
Yeah, I'd be okay with it, but especially because I don't expect them to continue their stories. So, like, if they kill them or not, like, I feel like this is the end of their story. So yeah,
at least one of them.
If they could do it right, though, they'd have to do it right. Killing them, it'd be if they kill them off dumb, it'd be like just stupid, But I don't think they do though. And what was the other question? What was the other part of the story? Oh, if they're going to continue like one of their movies. I hope they do. I don't know if they do both, but I could see, like Chase was saying, if they do decide to continue one of their stories, an after credit scene would be related to them. Maybe when they come back, they see that they have to do something back on the universe where they came from, or maybe they got sent to the wrong universe or something. Who knows? So yeah, it'd be cool to see an after credit scene related to that. But yeah, I don't think one of them dies. I don't think either of them die. If they do decide to kill one of them, though, I'd want it to be Tobey, just because that would be more emotional.
Murder Tobey.
Mm-hmm.
I can totally see them killing off Tobey Maguire. And the reason why I think Tobey Maguire would get killed off before Andrew Garfield is for a lot of reasons, mainly because Tobey is the kind of the veteran. I think if he gets involved, he's going to be he's the oldest Spider-Man we have. He's a long time ago. His movies were forever ago, and we have we never thought we were going to see him again as Spider-Man. We never thought. I guess we didn't think the same as Andrew, but like Tobey has been gone for so long. I mean, we're two Spider-Mans ahead of him right now, and so I think for him, like, yeah, I'd love to see a fourth movie because I'm such a Sam Raimi Spider-Man fan. I love the movies. I love the first two and all that stuff. But I think if you give him a good screen time on this movie, and you let him mentor. My thing would be let him mentor Tom Holland, the young Spider-Man.
Absolutely.
And be there for him and watch him become step up and become the new Spider-Man for his universe, or whatever. I'd be perfectly fine with them doing a death scene for Tobey Maguire and having it be like his final fight, and our final moments with this amazing actor who we loved so long ago. I was a child, man. I was a child when the third one came out. And So like to get a good send off, I'd be perfectly fine with seeing a send off in this movie as long as they give him the time, they give him the development, they give him the love, and they give him the action. I'd be perfectly fine with it. I think Andrew, we all know his movie is screwing him over, and we want more. We want better for him. I've always said I wanted better for Andrew because I felt like he's got some amazing moments in his movies. He just doesn't have them. The overall movies are just like needed to be a lot
And
better.
the guy loves Spider-Man too.
Mm-hmm.
Andrew and Tom are like the two that really are, not saying that Tobey doesn't, because Tobey I think knows that he owes a lot to that role,
Yeah.
but he's not as like, I guess it's funny, he's not as nerdy as Andrew and Tom is for this role, especially Andrew. I think that's why I kind of like root for Andrew a little bit more, because he did put in the work. He read the comics. His dream was, I think he even took a pay cut to play the role. So the dude, I look forward to him in the film. Tobey, it's funny that Chase says, I was a kid when I saw Spider-Man 3.
I was a
kid.
man.
I was a child when I saw Spider-Man 1. Okay. I was in Vegas when I saw Spider-Man 3, and I walked out of that film. That's how much I hated the ending of that movie.
Yeah.
So Tobey, you're absolutely right. If they give him the time, I will be okay with it, and especially that mentoring shit. Because the one thing I loved about Into the Spider-Verse was Miles and Peter's the mentoring and like he was. I love Peter in that film because he's like, oh, the kid's got it. You know, the kid's easy. Look at it. He could do this. He could do that. The one thing I hope they address though is Uncle Ben. Please, goddamn it, can I get it?
It's good now. Freshman year.
Yeah, since freshman year takes place before Civil War, and
In all the I want all the Spider-Mans go like Uncle Ben. You know, I'm like, or at least Tobey. Toby's Uncle Ben was the best Uncle Ben.
You'll probably get a mention. You might get a mention.
Give me a mention. Just give me a mention. Like Uncle Ben is such a vital freaking figure, and I swear to God, if Tom Holland says, "Oh yeah, my Uncle Ben used to say that," the great was, yeah, baby, it's time to bring that line back. All right, okay.
Yeah,
so
I think they'll say it.
They better.
Yeah.
They freaking better. So, guys, just want to point out, I was right. Chase, Doc Ock was talking about that Peter.
Yeah, you're
Tom
right.
Holland's
I was wrong.
version. Told you. Albert, I was right. I told you Tom Holland was going to be at that fan day today. But I was wrong because I thought they would do a special screening. But when I saw those cell phones pull up, like everybody, I'm like, oh, never mind. They're not going to do this. They're not going to do a screening. So yes, guys, I think we're super excited, man. I mean, we're gonna watch this in IMAX. We're gonna watch it in the biggest screen. This is a movie that you must watch on the big screen. No small screens. Go to the biggest screen, loudest surround sound.
Yeah.
Just sit back and enjoy the hell out of this movie. There's a lot of hype. I have too much, just absolutely too much expectations on this. But I'm going to lower down them a little bit because, you know, I don't want my heart broken. But then I had high expectations with Infinity War Endgame. And I came out really, really enjoying those films. So, yeah, Chase, I think Albert went to pee for a minute.
No, I'm right here. I need to put my phone to charge, so I turn on my camera because it's at a weird angle.
No, you're good. We're ending this right now.
Just my pretty face.
Yeah, just Chase's pretty face. We got Dr. Stephen Strange right there. Well, I don't know. Chase could pass off as a Spider-Man. He's white enough.
Spider.
All right,
the
guys.
Peter Parker that didn't get bit by a spider.
Exactly. Spider-Ham. How about Spider-Ham?
Spider-Ham.
I want to thank you guys for joining us. Always fun to talk about Spider-Man, one of our favorite heroes. Go ahead and hit the subscribe button, like the video, comment below. Check out all my other videos. There will be a review up for Spider-Man No Way Home. Actually, you know what, Chase? I think you'll be with me. Maybe we do like a out of the theater review in Universal, man.
Hell yeah.
Hey, we'll be back next week for Hawkeye too.
Yes, I will be. Hawkeye, I will do, since it's the last series, I will do right after the episode a video on it, and then we'll talk about it during the week with, of course, if you guys are down to do it as well. We'll see how your guys' schedules are. another podcast on it. But I'll be going back to the format with WandaVision, so I will do the after the midnight. There's 2 episodes, huh? Jesus Christ!
Yeah,
There's
you're
2 episodes.
for the first one's 2 episodes. Yeah.
Oh my God, I'll be up late. So I'll try to get that. I think I got that day off. Oh, is it on Tuesday or Wednesday?
Well, I think it's Tuesday night. So
Thank God, thank the Lord.
Wednesday
All right.
morning, I think.
That's gonna
I
work.
hope it's not Wednesday. Jesus, I hope it's not Wednesday.
Hmm.
Oh wait, Tuesday night. Oh wait. I gotta ask.
Wednesday
Rosie.
morning.
Yeah, Tuesday night, Wednesday morning, I believe, because that's how Loki and Falcon the Winter Soldier were. I'm not too sure though.
We don't talk about Falcon and the Winter Soldier no more.
I still haven't watched it.
You're not missing
It's the
much.
only Marvel thing I haven't watched. I will, but
You're not missing much.
Not missing
Okay.
much.
If
All right,
Albert's
guys.
saying that, it must be true.
Yeah, no.
Albert's saying that.
This is the guy who's like loved Eternals. I
Yeah,
still don't agree on that, man.
I'm more with you,
Some good
Alberto. I'm
things.
more with
There's
you
some
on
good
that.
things.
Pacing's pretty bad, but there's
It's not as bad. It's not as bad as everybody's saying.
No.
Go check out our a lot of people are actually checking out our Marvel Eternals podcast on there, so that's good. So
I gotta watch.
all right, guys. Well, thank you guys for joining me. Chase, OverdueBobcat50. Still doing your Twitch?
Yeah, I'm just getting back on that here now. I was off for a little bit, but I'm getting back on there. I'm gonna play maybe some Halo, some Far Cry 6. So
Let's play
come
Halo
watch.
tonight.
I wish, dude. I'm freaking tired as shit. I got work in
I
5
forget
hours.
you're ahead of me. I forget you're ahead of me.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's why
Halo.
I tried to end this cast
We'll
earlier,
play.
but we
We'll
went
play.
an hour on it.
We'll play.
Alright.
I got
All
you.
right, guys. Well, you guys
Later.
have